So I'm not ashamed to tell you guys, and I feel like the average person, excuse me one second, the average person doesn't know random trivia that's thrown in their way if they're asked. And I'm not, and here's the thing, I've talked to people at work of all colors, and they themselves tell me that they don't know everything. I'm not trying to, but it's like I'm trying to at the same time. Um, this dude, I told him my routine of reading, and he said, your brain's going to explode that way." But I had to say to myself, well, it has benefited me in a lot of ways. It is a word that I once wasn't familiar with, or a fact that I didn't know, and I hear it in passing. It's to my benefit, so I know I'm doing the right thing. So, what do I read? And I guess I can encourage some people that watch me to do the same. But what do I read on a daily basis, you may ask? What do I watch? Because I'm trying to expand my knowledge on science more, history, English, math. I'm trying to be a little bit of a mental calculator. When school comes around, it's just that I don't feel like with any career you have, you should just be educated on that career. You should have a wide variety of knowledge on other facts. You know, I mean, if you are, let's just say, you're you have a degree in business management or hotel management, I feel like it's beneficial to know how to perform CPR. It's beneficial to have a little knowledge on science, the outside, the atmosphere around you. Have a little knowledge on, you know, I guess chemistry, some everything like obviously math because you got to know how to count. Everything. I'm gonna just put it like this: if if it's not on this, if it's here right for us, if we all have the privilege to learn information, I don't think it's just here to collect dust. We need to open these books up and read. It's here for a reason, and it's something that I only took interest in at 22. But get to the point. What I read on daily in my routine. So I don't really like books that I have a really unusual way method of reading. I don't really prefer to read books in by one because I don't I don't feel like I grow that way. I have to do things simultaneously. I may pick up, like right now, I'm looking at all my books. I have more in Florida. I have about 25 books, and I obtain three facts out of every book I have every day. And I have newspapers, so when I do one book, I I also read a newspaper during like an interval when I'm done the book, I'll pick up like a Metro paper. Metros are free. I collect them. I read something from the Metro, try to find and learn a new word, and then go on to the next book. But I have my routine is comprised of learning, new concepts of math, science, history. Um, I do the American history. I try to find something from like a chapter of American history textbook because my American history textbook is in Florida, and I'm looking at them right now. So English, world history, math, science, and English is just for writing, talking. I know how to put together sentences. Sometimes my grammar may come off a little informal, but overall, I feel like I know how to talk the formal way. But there's, like I said, not always because there may be words that I may say in the wrong way. I may I'll point it out when I do it. But like I said, I feel like it's a lot of learning I still have to do. So with with that I have like 13, I have like 25 books that I read. I just find little facts in those books. And then I read my Bible. I read my action comic book Bible because it's really hard for me. Another thing is too, I lack an imagination. So it's hard for me to really perceive what I read by just regular reading. I have to watch a video or look up a picture of what's being described in the book, and it's really annoying at times. That's how crazy Aphantasia is. But the Action Bible helps me perceive what I'm reading a little bit better with the images that the Bible has for me. Then I'll read, or I may, if I'm too lazy, I'll do like audiobooks of books I read from sixth grade to about the 12th, and just to name a few: To Kill a Mockingbird, and The Diary of Anne Frank. Um, I'm just trying to think of a few because I don't do it every day. 1984 is one of them. I haven't finished all of them just yet. I'm not there, but it's like a routine I do. Um, and some of these books, like I said, some I read like autobiography of Malcolm X, The Watsons Go to Birmingham, Tale of Two Cities. Um, what was the other one? Because the ones I read that I didn't read in the 12th grade that I just found like the answers to when I had to take a test when I went on Cliff Notes. I just as an adult I reread these books as an adult. But yeah, like I said, Kill Mockingbird, Diary of Anne Frank. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, Lord of the Flies. If I'm like I said, if I'm too lazy to do the PDF because the white color, I'll just do the audiobooks and just find a word that I don't know. And with science now, another thing is too, I told you guys I have a hard time really imagining things when I read. So videos help me more. I'm not ashamed to say this because a lot of people don't know. If you were to ask them the average, like just a random question, they couldn't answer it. But here's some sites that I go on if I wanna when I wanna. I've been trying to expand my mind more on science since like last year. But some sites that I use on here for science are it's a channel called Peekaboo Kids. And if you were to ask the average person, give a rundown of, let's just say, what is gravity. Now, obviously, gravity is the invisible force that keeps us. It's the invisible force that keeps us on the ground. It prohibits us from floating into space. While space, there's not no gravity. Like space, like outer space is not zero gravity, but it's not it doesn't have that gravitational force like it does on the Earth. Like it's I forgot the exact percentage of gravity in space, but you're not it's a little different. I had to correct somebody at work when we were talking about gravity. But if you were to ask somebody that, because like I said, I just watched a video the other day, they couldn't really give you like a answer. They'll be stumbling on trying to articulate what they're trying to say. But like I said, some people are embarrassed they have to watch like kid channels on science videos, but I'm not. If I only thing that matters is if I understand, and I'm going off of where am I going to be 10 years from now, 15 years from now on my knowledge. That's really that's all that matters to me. But I do sites like Peekaboo Kids, the Tunnel Twins. I watch them on history, but I don't internalize nothing they say, and I don't pick sides on political spectrums. And Brain Pop, Brain Pop, I do science on Brain Pop as well. But I try to do when I do history, I try to stay as apolitical as possible. I don't take sides anymore. But that's a basic rundown of my reading routine, what I read. And once again, if you don't have any books, another routine that I do, there are textbooks online that are free. You can just download on your phone. They have a English textbook, PDF, a math, a science, a history, anything you want to learn. If you want to expand your mind, your vocabulary, your reading, your writing, please, by all means, download them. I'm not where I want to be, but you can, like I said, hopefully that can encourage you to, get where you want to be. But on this channel, all I promote on here is, self, personal growth, you know, um, unlearning unhealthy behaviors and replacing them with behaviors that allow your mind and your body to grow.